It was a day like no other. The sun had just begun to set over the Sea of Galilee, casting a warm golden hue across the water. After a long day of teaching and performing miracles, Jesus instructed his disciples to get into the boat and head to the other side of the sea while he stayed behind to pray. The disciples obeyed, though their hearts were heavy with the day's events. They had just witnessed Jesus feed over 5,000 people with only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, a miracle that left them in awe. As they rowed away from the shore, they could still hear the distant murmurs of the crowd, amazed and astonished by what they had seen. As night fell, a strong wind began to blow and the sea grew rough. The disciples, many of whom were seasoned fishermen, found themselves struggling against the waves. Hours passed, and despite their efforts, they made little progress. The storm seemed to be growing stronger with each passing minute. It was now the 4th watch of the night, somewhere between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. The disciples were exhausted, their arms aching from rowing. Suddenly, they saw something, or someone, moving toward them on the water. Panic gripped their hearts as they struggled to make sense of what they were seeing. "It's a ghost," one of them cried out, fear seizing them. But then, out of the darkness, a calm, familiar voice called out to them, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." It was Jesus. He was walking on the water, coming toward them. The impossible had become reality. Peter, always the boldest among them, called out, "Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water." Jesus simply said, "Come." With his heart pounding, Peter stepped out of the boat and, to his amazement, began to walk on the water toward Jesus. The wind howled around him, and the waves rose high, but Peter's eyes were fixed on his Lord. However, as he took in the raging storm, fear crept in and doubt took hold. The moment his focus shifted from Jesus to the storm, Peter began to sink. "Lord, save me," Peter cried out in desperation. Immediately, Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," Jesus said, "why did you doubt?" They climbed back into the boat, and the wind died down instantly. The sea, once furious and wild, was now calm. The disciples were left speechless. They had witnessed yet another miracle, one that spoke not only to Jesus' power over nature, but also to his call for unwavering faith. In awe they worshipped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." As the dawn broke and the first light of day touched the waters, the disciples knew that they had experienced something extraordinary. The storm had tested their faith, but Jesus had shown them that with him, nothing was impossible. The journey across the Sea of Galilee was more than just a passage from one shore to another. It was a lesson in trust, a reminder that even in the midst of life's storms, Jesus is always near, ready to reach out and save. And so the story of how Jesus walked on water, found in Matthew 14:22-33, Mark 6:45-52, and John 6:16-21, became a testimony of faith and divine power, passed down through generations, a beacon of hope for all who face the storms of life.
Thank you for watching.